Hi, I'm Amy Shannon from Amy's Bookshelf Reviews, and recently I read the book Black, White, and Gray All Over, A Black Man's Odyssey in Life and Law Enforcement. It was a very powerful read and very amazing. It's true crime, it's a memoir, and it's not just a memoir of a police officer, it's a memoir of a Black police officer. And unfortunately, and race plays a part in everything, um, and even people's judgments. Um, Sometimes one or two people in a community, any kind of community or group or organization, does something wrong, and then the rest of them have to pay for it. So I believe that anyone um, should read this book. Everyone should read this book and see what this man did for a living. See what crimes he solved. See how he treated people. It's not just about being blue. It's not just about being black. It's not about black and blue. It's about being a human being. So I recommend everyone read this book. And before I talk about my review, I wanted to read something that the author wrote in the beginning of the book that just kind of set the tone. I began writing this book many years ago, so long ago that at first I used an ink pen and lined loose leaf paper. The only thing I was certain of when I began the journey was the title. From what I understand, authors will usually begin writing and often won't come up with a title until well into the work. Sometimes the title won't be chosen until the end of it. I didn't know why I chose this title. All I knew is that no matter what I ultimately end up writing, this would be it. Little did I know just how applicable the title would be to my life, both personally and professionally. Now, I was honored to read this book and to receive a print copy autographed by the author, so that makes this book more precious to me. Um, and it is a true gift for me to have received this book. Um, the My review is basically, it's 5 stars. If I could have given it more stars, I would have. It's a powerful read, an amazingly powerful memoir from retired LA County Sheriff's homicide investigator. First, he grew up in Detroit, and it was almost clear that his path would not lead to being a police officer, especially since he was also Black. Then unexpectedly, he found himself as a recruit, a police officer, and a detective that created a successful career. Being a police officer in LA County in California is not the easiest job, and since in the 1980s, where most of his career spanned, Compton was one of the most dangerous cities. The book was well written. I'm glad that he decided to pick up a pen and write his memoirs, the history of his career, and the true crimes that took a toll on him, both professionally and personally. I also applaud this man's story, and I believe that more people should read this book. See the stories, hear the history of a Black cop. And yes, it's not just black or blue, it can be both. This is a must read. It shouldn't be about race, but it is. And it's important to make note here. I am so honored to read a story. It shouldn't be about black, white, blue, brown, or whatever, but about right and wrong, justice and injustice. It's a raw, intense story, and I really enjoyed every single word of it. It gives you a new perspective on a life that you can't relate to unless you've done it yourself. The synopsis of the book basically goes as follows. From shootouts and robberies to riding in cars with pimps and prostitutes, Frederick Reynolds' early manhood experiences in Detroit, Michigan in the 1960s foretold a future on the wrong side of the prison bars. Frederick grew up a creative and sensitive child, but found himself lured down the same path as many Black youths in that era. No one would have guessed that he would have a future as a cop in one of the most dangerous cities in America in the 1980s, Compton, California. From recruit to detective, Frederick experienced a successful career marked by commendations and awards. The traumatic and highly demanding nature of the work, however, took its toll on both his family and personal life. and something Frederick was able to conquer, but only after years of distress and regret. So this has been Amy's Bookshelf Reviews, and I highly recommend Black, White, and Gray All Over by Frederick Douglass
Please
Reynolds. Stay safe and be well.